All right. Welcome to the Dragon's Tome, episode 180, Dragon Magazine 180. I am your host this week, Chopper, after a small hiatus. Well, that
Real
was last
hiatus.
week. Never mind.
I don't know what you're
We're
talking about.
back, as always. Faster, stronger, whatever that Daft Punk song goes. Jack and Rob, still with me, surprisingly enough.
Yes,
For
up
now.
until the Daft Punk references. Now I'm starting to. I got one foot out the door now.
Yeah, I was with you until Daft Punk. Now we're leaving.
Daft Punk, and then now game is over. So here we are. Oh Christ! I always forget the year. 92, April of 92. Why do I always get stuck with this stupid
April Fools.
Fools episode? Now I'll be honest with you. I don't know if this one was an April Fool's one or not because some of these
There was
are
some.
fairly seriously.
There was
But
a few.
There was no traditional April Fool's.
No, it
shenanigans.
wasn't like the crazy one, but there was a few things, but not much.
So I
there's
expect
questionably one. So
no April Fool's shenanigans from us as well. We're gonna be serious.
Mr. Frazier did our cover this week. Dwarves fighting a dragon.
Yep, it was Dan Frazier.
Yeah, if we stick with our standard colors of dragons, they're fighting a fairly good dragon.
Yeah, it's definitely a bronze.
That's
or
copper.
or
Copper, right?
Yeah, somewhere in there. I like how they described it: a cheerful romp in a dungeon quarter over the ownership of some loot. That's how they described it. I just quoted that because it was so funny.
I will say
one of the
that
dwarves
dwarf
got.
on the neck has got like hydrocephaly. His head is ginormous.
It's dwarves, but the one's got a spear point right in the poor dragon's heart.
Yeah, but he's now he's along for the ride. Look at him.
He
You
got
know what he got
smucked.
himself into.
Yeah, and the one hanging off the guy's tooth.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice someone hanging off his tooth either.
And the other guy's, he's got the right idea. He's just grabbing the treasure and getting the hell out of there.
Yeah, he's taking a
Oh,
stop, drop, and roll with the treasure chest.
I just noticed it. His the tail is holding him up though. The dragon's got him by the tail is under his belt.
Oh, it's in his belt. That's funny.
It's a very dynamic, action filled, just the right amount of whimsy, but also I like this cover a lot.
Yeah, it's nice.
Do you think if we went back and went through all the Dragon magazine covers, that dwarves would be the primary people on the covers? Maybe not as much as humans, but way more than other things.
60%. Because there was a couple where we got in a big argument with Jack about dwarves and gnomes.
They were definitely gnomes, but
So we'd have to open that can of worms again. I don't know if I'm ready to go down that debate. So, all right. Well, if we got nothing else to say with the cover, I mean,
We do
again,
not.
I feel like I've said a million times already, we're just not going to really see a bad cover.
It's still $350, eh? It's been on $350 for a long time.
Yeah, it's been surprisingly enough. I thought we'd be closer to $5 by now in 92.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess kudos to TSR then.
Yeah.
they still must be making enough money, and I guess when you've got a niche market, you've got to kind of ride a line.
Well, I think we're at the point now where the Gygax is oust.
Oh, yeah. That was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So
We have.
all right, let's move on. Rob, do you have your editorial you want to do?
Is there an editorial? Yes, sir. Is there an editorial? Yes, there is.
Oh my god, did you not do it? I went straight to you because you always have the editorial.
Yeah, I just scrolled down. I had to scroll down and find it. Page 8 is the editorial. This is just Roger talking about odd characters and how you should embrace them, and it's more fun. Even though, like, he talked about one of his characters got reincarnated into an eagle, so he played it as an eagle. Like, he had an eagle character for a while. And he's pretty much, the whole thing's about how all the different things that you just have to be able to still talk, like still communicate in some way. Like he said, his eagle is telepathic, so he can still communicate with the people. And still make it fun. You not make him OP because it could ruin things that way, like if you end up doing some crazy stuff. But it's always fun to have these wacky characters in your group and to embrace it. And just because it's not in the rules doesn't mean you can't do it. He said there's a bunch of different supplements that have other character classes, like other modules and stuff that had alternate character classes in it to use. So, or not character classes. I mean races.
Races, yeah.
Yeah, the Creature Crucible accessories. He said had a lot of stuff, plus a bunch of Dragon magazines. So yeah, don't be afraid to end up playing some wacky characters like an ogre, or if you get polymorphed, it might still be fun times. You don't have to be like, oh, that character's dead, rip it up.
Yeah. Just because you got polymorphed doesn't mean you can't play it.
Yeah, this guy, he was reincarnated, actually. Reincarnated?
Oh.
That's the one that you changes, right? Yeah.
Was he a Hindu?
Yeah. It's the spell, reincarnate instead of resurrection, where you get changed.
Yeah. So if you can come to an agreement whether, like, can you still cast spells? What's the thing? As soon as you nail
You're
it
still
down
useful,
and everyone's fine with it.
Yeah, like you said, pretty much
something-
you have to be still useful to the group and still have agency. You have to be able to manipulate stuff. Or he said he could even be he had one character who was a ghost, but was able to still be a productive member even if they couldn't touch things, but they could still do other things to influence the action.
Ghost. Well, if he'd watched Ghost, he would know that you could touch things if you.
Well, he said that for this one, I think the people had to let people, if you wanted to interact, you had to let them take a person over, like they had to possess you.
Oh.
But otherwise, they could go out and scout and stuff for you and do things like that.
Conversely, if you
yeah.
watched Ghosts, then you'd have to ask the guy that's not wearing pants to do the touching of everything.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And it would only if you have to follow the window to be able to see this other PC.
Follow window. All right.
But only the UK version, because the American version's terrible.
I've grown to love it.
For shame, Jack. For shame.
For shame. All right, Jack. Since you're now shamed.
Shame.
A second time, Rob is just throwing shame out left and right.
It's a good thing it's sunny out there. I got plenty of shade coming my way.
Oof. What is your next article, sir?
Well, let's grab my notes here.
Ooh, he's got a book.
See, it's an April Fool's, so I pantomimed like I was gonna some reveal. I was gonna do a bit. We're not doing that. This
no
month.
bits. No bits. We're done with bits.
It's actually April. Is this the first time April Fool's was in actually April? On the podcast?
I can't remember. All I know is next week you get your big birthday boy pants on and your little party hat and.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Fun
if
times.
we could go to page 13, please.
Was this one of mine?
PDF 13.
No.
Suspend Your Disbelief by Tanith Tier. Now, I think the big reveal last week was that I think my subscription to Dragon Magazine started last week, and I do believe that is fact because I had this magazine, and if you were to say what my running a game style is, I must have picked it up whole cloth from this article. It's been a huge because it's talking about how to make your own unique lived-in world where people buy in, and how much you can get away with until someone goes, yeah, I'm out. And it starts with, do you believe in magic? It says you got to get the magic, whatever your system is, however it works, you got to get that nailed down, because that's one of the big ones where there could be big swings. You have to be consistent with it. The monsters. Gone are the days where every room of a dungeon you open it up and there's a monster.
Just a random monster, yeah, waiting for you.
Nothing to eat, nothing to do, no.
Just hanging out, waiting for the next person to come by.
Yeah. So that doesn't work. And if you can't explain where it was pooping, you gotta kind of
ecology.
Yes, and that stuck with me. That's something I do take to heart. Character consistency. It is important to make sure everyone you meet to a degree has, personality, uniqueness. And the more you get to know them, if they become an NPC or something like that, they have to have their own motivations. They have to, instead of just being, oh, that's a cookie cutter person. You buy your, you bought your grain from them and you're done.
And it can't be like one moment he's friendly with you, and then the next time you talk to him, he's just a dick. Like you have to keep it. You know what this character acts like.
Right, right. Where you if you build a rapport and then all of a sudden something's not working and your character's like, oh,
That's
I
weird.
kind of liked urban organization. This one for sure. Draw out your city, make your city, plan out your city that makes sense. Let the characters know what's in that city,
So they can explore it. Yeah.
and then they know which bars, they know which restaurants, they know where to go to the general store. And if you get to trick them into kind of learning that, then they fall in love with the city. Then they know. Then they go. We'll grab a bite down at so and so, and it feels lived in. Feels like your own city where your buddies go. Let's grab some wings down. You know.
Oh, how
And
dare
then,
you! How dare you!
That was shots fired at Rob. That's his big thing. Hey guys, let's go grab wings. Okay, let's go. And last but not least, magical Deus Ex Machina. And basically, it's nothing will take you out of a campaign. Nothing will take you out of a moment. Nothing. If something happens to make an effect, like out of nowhere, a super powered something that either saves the characters, anything that is just that bridge too far, where your characters go, oh, okay, I guess so, but doesn't really make sense. With the rules were as such, this breaks it. And yeah, that I remember reading this, and this is the anvil and hammer which forged my
So
running a game.
you owe a lot to Tanith Tier.
I do, and RIP. I'm sure they've gone on to a
Now
better
look.
place.
Now I really want to look.
I slightly suspect that that's nom de plume, because that's definitely the Dragonlance character name.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
And Tyr with one arm, Tyr with one R is one of the gods in Forgotten Realms.
and one of the lesser, but still pretty good Black Sabbath album.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not the best.
That's what I said. Rob's rolling backwards and on his phone. Are we keeping you?
I'm
From
not rolling
something
backwards. It's my camera. My camera does that when I look around. I found a Tanith Tier. It just says author, but it doesn't really show me any of anything.
All right. Well,
Oh, they
well,
authored some kind of Pathfinder book. It looks like.
Oh,
then maybe it still could be a nom de plume, but
Oh, it definitely is. Like nobody's named Tanith Tier. Nobody's called that. Maybe Tanith. Like you can call your kid Tanith, but their last name's not going to be Tier.
except for Bob Tyr. Bob Tyr, I'm sure you take umbrage to what you just said.
Well, you can have your last name Tier, but you're not naming your kid Tanith.
Unless you're a big Dragonlance fan, you'd be surprised. I had a patient named Goku.
Okay, named what?
Goku from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, Dragon Ball. I was like, what the?
I had
That's
a cab
disturbing.
driver that was named Superman Batman. So I think
Okay, we're gonna go to page 16 now.
I think this was one of mine.
Not another magical sword.
Oh, nope, this wasn't.
So I wasn't sure if this was a joke article. I was reading it, and the author basically proposes that all magical swords should be unique.
Chuck Rogers.
Yeah, he proposes that they use a standardized outline, unlike character sheets, to describe and make your magic weapons unique when you get them, or if you find them as a DM, or putting them out there. Even goes so far as to say that even just because it's a +1 to hit doesn't mean it's magical. It could be based on craftsmanship and everything like that.
Yeah.
That's been addressed in other articles before. But as a DM, I do like the idea of this. He does steal the outline itself modified from the Forgotten Realms accessory, the Magister, where Dr. Greenwood outlines all these weapons, and he gives two examples how it lays out. It comes up with the name of the weapon, how much it's valued, and then you get to write a little bit of legend, how the sword or weapon came to a part, then it likes you to describe the appearance. Then you get your bonuses and abilities, and if it's an intelligent weapon, you can put that there, and a whole bunch of other things, which I thought is kind of cool because if you think about it, no one really just does that, or at least I should say in my games, no one ever did it. Just I'm going to bust out my +2 weapon. His example here is +2, +5 versus dragons.
Yeah,
and just calls it.
Yeah,
instead of giving it a background or a face in itself, since it's supposed to be a magic
unique
weapon.
Yeah, like a unique weapon. It's just not some random weapon you found that happens to be magical, but all magical weapons are unique. Yeah, that's kind of interesting, just because it adds a lot more. It doesn't make it so common that you're like, oh, it's just a magic weapon. It makes it like, oh, this is the special magic weapon. It probably got a history. It probably came from somewhere, and you could find out about it, or it comes with a little book with it or something. But or somebody tells you about it.
Yeah, it talks about you can make it. You can talk like high carbon to be made from like a hard carbon where it will still rust, but then it's easy enough to clean. And things like
other
that,
types of blades. Yeah, the handles and the pommels and everything.
So, and I will say that I was also very guilty of this. I did not do this, and I wish I did.
It goes back to the idea that Jack was just talking about, when in your world, like everything should be
100%
should be something special. It's like it's not just like they said in Lord of the Rings. How many magic items were in Lord of the Rings? There was very few, but when they had names and everything was important, right? Like
there was just the one sword, right, and his staff.
Well, it's sting. Yeah, everybody had like a special weapon.
So 3 swords, 2 swords, a staff, and a ring.
Yeah, I'm sure Legolas's bow is probably special in some way too. Like it probably had a history and stuff, but. And I think Gimli's axe did too, wasn't his grandfather's axe or something? But
possibly.
Anyways, but the point was they all had histories, and it wasn't just like, it's just a weapon you'd happen to find. It'd be like, well, this is a special weapon.
You just it's not something. Okay, I go get it identified. All right, it's a +2, +5 versus dragon. You
take it. Say here's the history
identified.
of it, and even not even saying why it's like. Why is it +5 versus dragons? Like you could explain in the history why it's a dragon slayer sword.
Yes,
as though it just came fully formed onto the planet as is, without like, oh, someone else owned it. Oh, it came from
somebody must have forged it and made it. Someone made the sword. It's not just some random sword. Yeah.
So all in all, it was pretty good pretty good article, and it didn't seem like a joke to me, but
no,
it's hard to say.
It doesn't sound like a joke at all.
No.
I have a theory running forward, and we're gonna have to keep our eyes on it because it is a April Fool's. Our last, I mentioned that author, and you were like, "Oh, that's one of the characters from." Now I'm looking at this. His name would be Chuck Rogers. That's very close to Buck Rogers. So I've got a running theory now.
What was Mr. Rogers' first name?
Let's just keep our eyes on the author name.
Is Buck nickname for Charles?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's one of those ones.
No, but Chuck would be. So his name would be.
Chuck but what is Buck? What is Buck short form for? Yeah.
What is Mr. Rogers' first name?
I think it's like Bill.
I might be out of. This is just me.
No, it's a good thing because we have
Fred. Fred. Here. It's Fred Rogers. Of course it is.
Yeah, and then we have Chuck Rogers. I don't know. You might be. We'll keep an eye out, like you said. Rob, where are you going next?
Sorry, I have to look up what Buck is short for.
Buckminster, possibly.
Buckminster. And then here we go. He's back again.
It's it's like Bartholomew. It's like Buckalemew was the original Old English Buck.
Oh.
Strange.
All right.
Anyways, where are we going? We're going to go to right next page. Actually, page 18. Actually, it's page 20. Sorry, it's page 18 in the magazine, but 20.
Oh, you did this.
Psionics. I said psionics. Ugh. But this is by Rick Swan, I guess. Is that who it is? Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah,
it's a role-playing reviews for Psionics by Roll Aids. The GURP Psionics, and of course the AD&D Second Edition Complete Science Psionics Handbook. So he goes on to start this article by saying that most psionic rules are terrible, and it's either just another magic or overly complex. And he said the first edition psionic rules were literally impossible to use. Then he goes on to review these ones, For the complete Psionics handbook for TSR, obviously he's going to give it a good review because he's a shill for the company, but also says it improves completely on the. I agree with that. I had the complete Psionics book, and it actually does work. Like
I will say, my friend Don, who played Science a lot, he said this book was much better than
yeah,
everything.
because you had points and you can kind of it wasn't like Magic where you level up. You pretty much had your powers. They get more powerful over time, but you don't get different powers as you go. You pretty much buy your powers at the beginning. And he said it's very simple and it's very different from the Magic system, which makes it important because otherwise Psionics are just Magic. The other one is the Psionics by Mayfair. The Roll Aids one is he said it's very limited and it's better to use for the ideas, not so much the rules. And he said you could probably use it in conjunction with the TSR book because it just gives you more abilities that you could use.
As I was reading this article too, I noticed that a good friend Duck edited this book when he was working for Mayfair.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's funny. Oh yeah, there he is, Jeff Leeson. And lastly, he talks about the GURPS Psionics, and he said it's GURPS Psionics is great for like modern games or cyberpunk games. Like if you're playing Firestarter, the game, this would be the one to use. But for fantasy, not so good. And he also says it's super complex and for experienced people only, as GURPS tends to be, because it leaves a lot in your hands, I guess. But it's a very complete system, anyways. Good old GURPS, Steve Jackson games, of course.
GURPS.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a new age for Psionics. I think the age of Psionics being a joke is in the past now, and it's more useful, I think, in the second
still
edition
on
modern times.
Even with this, I still have problems with it.
Well, the real problem is that you have to roll to be a psionicist, and it's so low a chance. It's like 1% chance or something. But somehow everybody was always one. That's the problem. It was just you're supposed to roll for every character to see if they were one. And it was just luck if you were in it, but people wanted to be scientists.
The 2 times out of I don't know how many years we played, my friend Don was able to get a psionicist.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a little insight into Psionics, and maybe, just maybe, they're not as bad as we remember them be.
Hard for me to get on board that train. Jack, where are you going?
Okay, let's go down to page 125, please.
Ooh,
we're going deep. Oh, you're talking about you're going to the insert.
The trading cards. Now, we've had discussions about the trading cards. In fact, it spurred young Patrick to go on a buying spree. And I had always said, "Oh, I think I had some. I seem to remember some."
Well, you know why you had some because you had this magazine.
I know why I saw them because I saw
Pat's just invisible. There he is,
showing them as we speak. And
actually, out of the book.
When I saw the first thief there, I was like, "Oh yeah, I think I had that one." And I scrolled down to the second page. Oh, okay. There's all the nonsense for on the backs. Okay, and then that girl in the middle there. Oh, I had that. Oh, I had that. I didn't have any of these. I remember them from the magazine. So I have to say that I did not ever own them because statistically, look at that.
If you did have the magazine, then you owned them because these are the actual ones from the Dragon magazine.
The inserts, yeah.
But in my mind's eye, I was thinking, I must have had them as individuals. No, they were. I know them from being inside the magazine.
I will say I am missing this set.
Well, that's the question. So it says, hold your hands. An experiment gone very well for TSR. Yes, apparently they were a hit. These trading cards have proven themselves highly useful for collectors. Well, we have one in our midst right now. And every year from now on, you expect a sheet of cards. Now, you've already answered my first question. Do you have these 9? How many of these do you think you have going forward? And how many do you have?
These are the sheet. I have everyone but this one. There, from my readings and looking around, there's only 3 sets in magazines. There was the first set, which is Dragonlance stuff. And then there was this one, which was a bunch of AD&D Dragonlance stuff. And then there was this one.
Oh, so
my understanding. I think 180. This magazine was the last magazine.
Yeah, it says magazine set 3. It says here.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says every year from now on.
It's all
That
lights.
means this
Every year from now on until this comes out.
was a
Yeah, that's a problem. It's
Okay.
we're on the cusp of Spellfire and
So
Magic.
this replaces that, so that's why they don't show up in the magazine anymore.
Yeah,
Okay.
Magic and Spellfire crush everything else. The collectible card games come in and destroy these card sets.
Yeah.
So okay, that answers my question on the.
My question is, the art's not great.
No,
Yeah,
on these sets, I was looking into this and I was like, this is not the art and the other two are way
It's like
better.
they needed somebody to we need like 20 cards, pump them out quick, guys.
Or
Because
they went through the cabinet and said, okay, here you go, like from 1978.
yeah, because not even these look like fan drawn. Like these aren't the quality of D&D art we were used to. I don't think.
Yeah.
They look as though they might be from the same artist
Yeah.
or artists of similar style.
Does it say the art?
So
Does the artist get
So,
credited
I don't
anywhere? I
know
don't
if-
think so. No, I don't see it.
I'm looking on the back.
Yeah, I was trying to see if it like even in the thing, it doesn't give any credit to the artist. Poor TSR. Give credit to the artist, motherfuckers. Anyways, maybe not because this art's not great. So probably that artist doesn't want to be associated with it. We're so used to like Magic cards, which were right off the bat like amazing art on all the Magic cards. Like that's
Yeah.
and I'm sure Spellfire is the same way. I'm sure those cards look beautiful, but this is amateurish, I'd say. Like this looks like the art I would draw for my characters on my sheet. You know, like some of them are better than others. But
I'm gonna lie that this is still better than anything I could do.
that Folies there, I think that looks a lot like a character I would have drawn on one of my sheets.
Yeah.
Some are better
Yeah.
than others, but yeah.
with the sword just slightly bent,
Mm-hmm.
the proportion just a slight, like everything just
I
don't
will
know,
say
I
that it took me a while to figure out this guy was shaving himself with a straight razor.
Yeah, I saw that. I was wondering what was going on there.
yeah. But when I owned the magazine, I thought these were pretty
Oh
sweet.
yeah, pretty cool. These ones are all just like characters too, unlike the other ones which have like weapons and stuff. These are actually characters. All of these ones.
Yeah. All right. Well then, let's move. Are you done with this, Jack?
I am.
All right. Let's move to page 26. Your basic barbarian.
Now this one definitely seems like
Now
a
this,
parody
I
one.
think, is a joke article.
Yeah.
Because its premise is when you roll low and then you end up divvying all your low scores towards the intelligence, charisma, and wisdom because
That's what you
you
do.
want to at least make a basic fighter, which I'm not saying doesn't happen. I'm guilty of it sometimes myself. But this guy is now proposing that you play this character like a nitwit and name him after a German car maker slogan.
Farfignugan.
Yeah. That was that whole Volkswagen
Yeah.
commercial back in the 90s. So, I don't know. It goes through a whole bunch of different things and how to...
If this happens,
How
this
to-
is how you should
Yeah.
react. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like another... I don't know if it's another... He's trying to find other ways to bring levity to the game or find really ways to mess up your co-player so they want to kick you out of the game. But the part that killed me about this article, the very end, is that it is number 12 is never let your DM forget, and someone insinuates that if you keep playing like this, hopefully it'll encourage him and allow you to do rerolls.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I do-
Apparently, he hasn't played with me because you're gonna get stuck with that character.
Wow.
I'm very
Uh,
hardcore
But
with
yeah.
rerolls myself.
it is a funny little story, a funny little article about just playing real dumb. But it's you know, as a magazine that's not full of jokes, I accept this.
Yeah, I mean, it does make it in the beginning where this is where I was on the fence with it being a joke for a half a second. Is that he says we divvy those scores up and then we go on just to playing normally as our characters weren't. And let's be honest, 8 is not a stupid. 8 is average.
Well,
That's
10's
us people.
average, but
I think 8 says 8 to 10 is average on the scale.
Yeah, average stupid person is an 8.
So, uh, so yeah, I just it is what it is, and I took it for as an April Fool's article
I
at
did
that
for
point.
sure.
So,
And he looks like Rocky Balboa.
yeah, if you want to get a good chuckle, read the Adventures of Farfig Nugan in this thing.
Jack, with that name, Lee A. Span. Do you see any joke in that name?
No. I looked Lee A. Spain. Like I was like, well, is it Aspleen? But I couldn't. So maybe my theory was wrong.
No, there's something in there. It rolls too much to not be a pun of some sort. Lee Spain. If you say it really fast, Lee Spain. Please explain.
Ass pain.
Yeah,
This poor guy.
Yeah, he's rolling in his grave.
we're doing Sean Connery on Jeopardy now, saying like
Yeah.
the Kit's horror.
It's just a name. Move on. Le Spain. It's just a name. You don't have to. Le Spain.
Spain.
So,
Yeah.
all right, Rob, you have another article?
Oh, I got thousands of articles. So let's go to page 7. The letters, they have this bunch of, this is kind of April Fool's, but I assume these are actual letters they got, maybe. But the unanswerables, it's just letters that they got, and they're like, we're not answering these. But some of them are pretty funny. A lot of them are like, oh, if you, it's like chain letters where you want good luck, keep it going. But there's that keeps putting those in there, which I think are the joke parts. But
yeah, the one that kills me is the 475th level fighter.
Oh yeah, we always had those back in the day. But I like the one is it possible for you to send me a complete list of prices of slaves so you can buy? I was like, oh, I can see someone actually asking that. Lots of stuff about breeding people amongst other peoples. It's like, whoa.
Jesus.
Yeah, what else is, let's see. There was some other funny ones in here. There was, yeah, there's people wanting tattoos and, but yeah, a lot of it was OP people. A lot of it was, breeding stuff and then a lot of the getting good luck through chain emails. Well, not emails, chain letters.
Oh, there's a chain letter in this one.
There's a few. They have a few chain letters that they go through.
Yeah. There was a time when that was all the rage.
Yeah. There's a lot of sex ones, and I assume like some of these obviously are ones they actually got because I can see like kids or just socially awkward adults asking these weird questions. But there was somebody who wanted to make a Thundercats character, which I thought was fun too, because that
I skipped over this letter. Now I'm laughing at it. Have you ever taken a shower with a person who's been mauled by a tiger? I have. That's all the letter is. Nowadays, that would be a tweet.
Yeah. But anyways,
imagine you show up for your game group and everyone's brought the new characters, and you say, "Oh, I made a tabaxi. He's he's got blue fur and he's hairless and spots." And oh, okay. Then the next one starts, and eventually, like, so you're going to be a female tabaxi, and let me guess, she's cheetah-like. Yeah. Look over the Thundercats.
You're all Thundercats.
the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to.
Jack, you got anything else?
Yes. Could we go to page 125, please?
You already did that one.
You already did that one. So
April Fool's.
Oh,
you got us.
He got me because I thought he had a third.
Every April's episode, everyone.
We're catching on to you for once, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, then I will go to my last article.
I have one more too.
Yeah, 54.
Your
own treasure hunt.
I thought it was your win treasure hunt. I didn't know there was an order.
Yes, your own treasure hunt. So basically, this is a how to raise money for your game club. And as I was reading this in my head, I was thinking game club in game.
Not actual
but then I
real
realized
life.
it was literally talking about a game club. So I've never been part of a game club. We never had a game club in high school.
We
for
did.
Games.
That's how me and Jack met.
We had chess clubs, but we never had game club per se. I did find this article interesting because you can actually substitute this article, the game club, in the article for convention. can kind of put your own convention together. That's it. If you were a set of group of fans and things like that. But cons that are a very big endeavor, and I wouldn't just immediately on reading this article start put together a con.
We have a friend to put together a con, and just the stress that we've heard from that guy.
Yeah, it's a lot, but these are basic fundamentals. But while there's nothing new here in this article, as far as basically this is just a basic a project management 101 article.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like to me. It was not. It could be used for anything, not necessarily making a game club.
Exactly, but so while it's just a basic project management to concerned, I think 12-year-old, 14-year-old me would have appreciated this if I was a part of a gaming club. So if you're a young kid reading this, just jumping onto this, you got your little 5e club back at your high school, or you got your group of friends that meet in someone's basement every week, and you're looking to do some stuff and put together some cool, fun, make your club a little more fun. I mean, this actually, I do know that game clubs are much more prolific in England, in the UK.
Yeah, they have much more of a, instead of
It's
going
more
to
like a
stores.
lodge.
Yeah. They don't have stores
have
they
like-
play in. They play in like lodges and thing, and like it is much more club oriented than game store oriented like here.
Yeah, so this is a good article to start with if you are a young 5e starter and everything
whippersnapper.
like that.
Very first thing, and if you're a 5e starter, don't play 5e. Play second edition. It's a better game.
Yeah, or something else.
Or any other game.
Yeah.
Literally any other game.
And this could still translate to that game. But that's it. I just thought it was a nice little thing. A little shout out to anyone who's young that has found this podcast by accident.
Robin Wrist. Jack, anything? Robin Wrist.
That's close. That's a hard one.
Yeah.
That one borderlands of Mr. Meoff.
Yeah, again, maybe it was nothing, but Robin wrists.
We could just do that for every article.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a bunch of these. All right, Rob, you said you had one more?
I believe I have one more. Yes, on page 62. Oop, I can't click it. Let me click 62. 62. Well, that's the point. Look at that. Aren't you like, well, that's BattleTech, right? That's totally BattleTech, right? No, it's some game called Nova 9. And I said, BattleTech going to sue somebody because that looks like a Kurita symbol on the guy's helmet. He's a samurai guy.
100%.
And then they showed the screen shot of the game down here. It looks just like BattleTech. It's somebody
It does, but it's not a mech. It's a tank.
Is it? How can you tell?
Yeah. Because if you zoom into the thing where the shield is, it looks like a little spaceship.
Well, but it looks like a mech cockpit. Anyways, yeah, this is
Or does a mech cockpit look like a spaceship cockpit?
this. I'm amazed he doesn't say anything. He gives it 4.5 stars. I'm amazed he doesn't say anything about this. Looks like just a knockoff of BattleTech because that's what it looks like. But he loves this game for some reason. Probably because he loves BattleTech.
Because it's got Phoenix tanks and hover tanks,
Yeah.
and Terra airborne craft,
And samurai that happens to have a House Kurita symbol on his forehead.
and a House Kurita bad guy.
Yeah. Anyways, I just thought it was funny because I was like, what game is this? Nova 9? Never heard of this BattleTech game? Oh, it's not.
It's like a mix of BattleTech and any kind of Gundam because the bad guy's name is Gar Draxon.
Yeah. And that's my last article.
All right, Jack, let's hit some ads. What do you got?
Some ads. Okay. Page 19, please.
Yeah, this is definitely one of mine.
One of mine too.
The hype is real.
All I put down is the wall is now broken.
Well, it has been exposed more and more of this little rift that's getting bigger. And so I just want to try something here. Summer 1992. This is it. Gaming will never be the same. GDW. There's a little phone number at the bottom here. Now, we've never done this before.
Are you actually going to call this phone number?
Let's.
That'd be hilarious if it's somebody's phone number.
What happens if you wake someone up?
why don't you just read out the number so I can type it in so I'm not looking back and forth?
309. I'm going to assume it's country code 1.
1, yeah.
309
Okay.
452
Okay.
3632.
Okay.
I hope some lady goes, you know what time it is, boy? What do you call me?
Hello?
They're not picking up.
Hello?
GDW.
GDW here.
Is John there?
No? Is it running?
You better touch it.
God.
My phone started running. I was like, oh shit, somebody's calling me. It's like, now of all times, Jack's doing a bit. I literally thought somebody was trying to call me. I do like the hype, though. Once in a decade, there's a breakthrough, a vision so powerful that it sets the standard of which all else is measured. Sometimes it could be a rise from evolution, the constant painstaking of an existing concept. That does not fucking make sense. The constant painstaking of an I don't know. Sometimes it could be a result of an alliance between two powerful forces that never combined their strengths before. Sometimes it's both. No matter what this is,
to me,
it's a letdown.
I know what it is.
How dare you know what it is? Are you reading ahead?
Yes, that bottom paragraph makes a whole bunch of sense.
I don't like you reading ahead.
But that being said, the powerful forces is so much of a stretch.
Well, if you look into the rays of light coming out, you can kind of see a form.
Yeah, I can see the word psionics. Oh wait, that's just the other page on the back.
I see the word. I see ET.
I see a letdown, but we'll see next time maybe.
Okay.
Psionically, you're reading.
We'll know what's coming soon.
I don't think we do know what's coming soon, but we get an inkling of what's coming soon.
Yeah. All right, Rob, you got an article?
Page 25.
I only have one left now. Jack took it.
25. It's another Splat book. This time it's the Bard. We're getting the Bards coming out. They killed the Bard in the second edition, and here he's back. You can't keep a good Bard down.
I think people were very upset that he was gone.
Nice picture. A nice picture of a Bard on a horse. Bard and Barding.
He looks like oh Christ, what was the actor's name that played in the D&D movie?
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine. He doesn't look like Chris Pine.
No, I was gonna say. I thought you said he looked like Chris Pine.
Looks like a young Will Ferrell.
No, he looks like a David Hasselhoff.
The Hoff.
He's gonna start singing in German.
Anyways, anybody ever play a Bard?
I don't like playing bards. I could never. The lure for a bard was never strong for me.
My level of whimsy and I already had thieves with a heart of gold and a twinkle in their eye, but some nimble fingers. The bard was that one step too far for me.
Yeah. Plus, first edition bards were so hard to become. It kind of put me off.
Yeah, you had to be a thief and something else, right? A thief and a fighter.
Even a ranger, I think.
Yeah, it was something that you had to level up in two things. This one's you can be a bard right from the start. And yeah, this is where the real bard starts. This is where, like Chris Pine's bard, this is it.
Yes, this is where the bard evolves to. Understand it. It actually becomes more of a bard than a fighter at this point.
He's much more of I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm going to have sex with every single possible thing, including this horse.
And that guy with an apron on.
He looks really excited to watch this bard.
My article, only article.
Ad.
My own ad.
Ad.
You sound like those things from
Budweiser.
The seagulls from Finding Nemo.
No, from
me.
From Sesame Street.
Mine.
Let's go to page 122. In passing, I noticed this, and I was like, "Oh, Chessex!" And I went, "Wait a minute. When did Chessex start selling anything but besides dice? Here, they're selling a whole
cool
slew of mugs."
Yeah, I like the biohazard mug, and I like the radiation mug. I would like to have both those mugs.
And a beer stein even.
A lot of chaos symbols.
A beer mug, yeah. I don't think they sell these stuff anymore because every time I go to Gen Con, I don't see anything but dice at the Chessex booth.
I don't.
And or their website because I've ordered dice from Chessex before.
Yeah, I don't. It's probably something that they got a supplier. It's like, hey, we can make this stuff for you.
Yeah,
Like, they
I
tried
mean,
it
they're
and it
just in
wasn't worth it.
and they're just in Indiana too, so they're still in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So it's not like
They're also in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, and Longmont, Colorado,
I think they're just in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
and Berkeley, California.
I don't think so anymore. I think they're just in Fort Myers now.
I want how much
Fort
is
Wayne.
how much is the Biohazard stamp is $6. How much is the Biohazard mug?
Let's
I don't see it on there. Mugs look like they're $8 though. That's pretty good. $8 for a mug. I'd pay that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is. Radiation hazard on a yellow mug.
Yellow
$8.
mug. $8.
Oh, so it's a green biohazard on a white mug or black radiation hazard on a yellow mug. The yellow mug with black, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of mugs for someone who doesn't drink coffee. I will say that.
Do you have another ad, Rob?
You didn't even ask Jack.
He started this.
Jack might have more than one ad.
Oh, come on. Oh, wait. It's April Fool's. Jack, do you have another ad?
We go to page 125, please.
I can go there.
Okay.
Oh, you got us again.
You got us again. Oh, man. It's those cards.
April Fools.
Who would have thought? Not me. I have no more ads. Because the other one was the GW hype ad.
Yeah, me too. All right, well then, let's wrap this up because Jack is all jokes now.
He's all joked out.
He's all joked out.
It's Jackie the Joke Man over there.
So
that's right.
So like, share, subscribe, drop some comments. We love to chat with you guys on the comments.
Drop your favorite joke in the comments, please. Keep it,
Oh, yeah.
keep it kind of blue, but
Blue.
Yeah, no, we want blue jokes. I'm saying.
Rob is a fan of the dad joke.
I am actually.
He is.
I'm a fan of a good pun. Also,
Him and my wife were just dad jokes all weekend.
My wife.
But if you're trying to leave a comment that I'm going to see, it's like a belt made of wristwatches. It'll just be a waste of time.
That hit me right there.
He says that, but he
Right in
looks
the heart. Hit me right in the heart, Jack.
So, all right. Well, then, for the Dragon's Tome, I've been your host, Chopper.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Rob.
And we will see you again next week as we go to next week.
Wouldn't it be funny if next week is the April Fool's issue? That'd be funny.
That would be funny. All right. Well, on that note, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Sayonara.